All right. Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome, cycling friends. James with Team Finish Strong here in Watopia, getting ready for Tour de Zwift. Yes, that annual event is finally upon us. This year I got notification real early about the event. So I made sure that I signed up, registered for the first event, which is tonight, obviously. And then I promptly forgot about it. And it quietly snuck up on me. And realizing that today is the day of reckoning for me, heading out to the far lands of Zwift over the course of eight sessions. So hopefully they are spaced far enough apart that I don't die in the process, because these tours have a tendency to inflict a lot of training stress when they were close together. And they're still pretty close together for my taste. I prefer maybe one a week if I can help it. But as the case may be, that's not with Tour de Zwift. So we'll be doing a lot of streaming over the next couple of weeks as we cover every stage of the Tour de Zwift. 8 stages. They have a variety of options for each stage. And A, B, C, and D, which I think is a women's category. So you've got basically 3 distances you can choose from: long, medium, or short. And then, of course, there's the women's only event. So it's not speed specific. So as you see in my title description today, I've got the A event selected. It does not mean I'm going to be riding an A pace tonight, however. This is going to be a solidly group ride effort for me. And in about a minute, I should be getting on over to the pen. I think we're heading over to France today. I think it's the RGV course, or I could be wrong, or something similar. So we got a couple of hill climbs, 2 laps, but otherwise fast and flat, just like they promised. So if you like flat courses like me, this is your stage to go long. If you like climbing, then hang on. I'm sure there'll be a stage for you somewhere in the next couple of weeks. But so today, I decided to go ahead and put the big miles in. That being said, folks, if you are a part of the Zwift community, feel free to jump in and ride. This is the 6 p.m. A ride, 6 p.m. Eastern time, for those of you in other parts of the world. So just getting myself warmed up here so that I can handle the start. And I think tonight what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep it pretty much chill on the flats, somewhere around 2 watts a kilo, and then maybe do some significant efforts on the climbs, which are, there's one decent climb and one very short climb. You almost miss it if you're not paying attention. So probably do some efforts on those 2 just to get a little bit of a workout in tonight. And I have got to go. I talked myself almost out of the event, which if you've been a friend of the channel for a while, you know I have a habit of doing. All right. Today, because it's mostly flat, most of the time will be spent on the flat portion of the course, I decided to go with the optimal setup for flat, which is the disc wheel. And I cannot show myself doing that right now. It's kind of strange. I don't know if I'm on the right screen here. Let's see. Nope, can't do it. But you can take my word for it. May not necessarily be the best bike, but for me, with a flat course, it's kind of my go-to now. I used to do the Tron bike for everything, but I'm finding now that the Tron has been sort of left in the dust when it comes to flat rides. It's not the fastest anymore. Good all-rounder, but not the fastest. So, all right. Here we go. We got over 100 folks signed up for this particular one. So we got a good crowd tonight. And I hope some of you are joining along with us. It's one of those things when you have to troubleshoot on the bike. Not a very fun thing to do. Especially when you're trying to get into a group. So my apologies, folks. I think the stream is having some technical difficulties tonight. Go figure. It's bound to happen. My apologies for the technical difficulties. And I can't guarantee they won't come back. But as I was saying, this is Tour de Zwift. It's an annual event in Zwift. It covers all of the worlds of Zwift. So if you really want to have something to motivate you to explore those worlds that you typically either never get around to or just don't fancy for one reason or other, this can be your night. Or this can be your week, I should say. Because it's eight stages. And I'm going to try to catch up to these folks as opposed to lagging behind. Maybe that group is not the best group to be a part of. I see they're kind of moving out pretty fast. So maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. All right. 5,000 riders. James, what's it like swimming around 5,000 riders in the pen? You must have had primo selection of groups. Tonight we've got 500 as opposed to 5,000. So a lot of folks did theirs yesterday, huh? Looks like, let me breathe. What we got here? My apologies. I'm doing all sorts of things tonight, folks, to mess up the stream. I'm determined to make a mess of this stream because of my inexperience here. There we go. It's been a super long time since I've done any streaming in Zwift. I think I've completely forgotten how to do it. Well, James, good to see you. I remember you being on some of our past streams. You planning on doing all 8 stages? And good evening. Nice to meet you in the chat. So I'm going to do my best to try to talk and exercise at the same time, which, as you guys know, is not the easiest thing to do. Coming off a little time off the bike too this past week, had a little bit of a cold and just decided to take it easy. But tonight, this is my first jump back on in, I think, a week. I'm pretty sure it's been about a week, unless I did some soft pedaling late last week. You know, that is definitely a hallmark, is it not, of Zwift, James? If people aren't riding in the air, and water, and through terrain, it's not Zwift. But yeah, when they get up into the big numbers, I notice they do have problems like that. What I wonder sometimes is, what about those poor folks that you see going off in the wrong directions? Is it just an illusion, or are those poor folks out of luck? Just out of luck, I don't know. Never been one of those unlucky fellows. Yeah. So, well, good luck to you in your quest to conquer all 8. Hopefully, in my case, they'll have some makeup days, because I am sure I'm not going to be able to do it at the pace that they want me to. Every 3 or 4 days or so. That's quite a lot of Zwifting for me that I wasn't planning on in these next couple of weeks. 0 dropouts. Hey, that's great. You know, that's one thing I have to say. In the last year or two for me, I gotta really thank God that I haven't had dropouts in Zwift. Now, either they've done some tinkering behind the scenes to make it better, or this Wahoo Kicker is a superior product when it comes to Bluetooth and so on and so forth. I actually use Ant Plus for my connection, which is still supported. And they say the Kicker can do a direct connection to your Ethernet, but I have to wonder, how does Zwift find it? I'm not really sure how that works. May not even work in Zwift. I'm going to pose that question to the chat. If you have a Wahoo Kicker 2020 version 5 and you have it directly connected to your network, no wireless, so that you don't have dropouts, how do you actually connect to Zwift? How does it show up in the sensors? Never had that question posed to me, and I've never actually seen it studied or covered in any videos I've watched online. So, be curious to know. I have not purchased the direct connection as of yet, because I've had such good results with the Ant Plus. But thank you, James. Well, that's great. Yeah, I hope both for Zwift's part and for the suite of trainers that it supports now, they've really worked very closely on making the experience as good as possible. You know, I mean, I've been a Zwifter now for, what, 4 years, 5 years? And that's a lot of an investment in one platform, you know, level 48. So a lot of time, a lot of time on the trainer, especially when I was trying to get that Tron bike. So it's good that Zwift is giving back to their communities with a really good experience and a lot of worlds. We've seen the addition of a couple of worlds this year, if you count the fact that Mercury Islands now has a second world built into it, so to speak. More like an expansion, I guess you'd call it. And just really nice to see Zwift continuing to expand it further. In fact, I can honestly say there are roads on Zwift I have not yet traveled. So the pace of expansion is exceeding my ability, or at least willingness, to venture out into those far, lonely places, which is a good thing. Keeps it fresh. So you use Apple TV, James. How does that work? You use the Apple TV on a what kind of a device? A handheld, laptop, iPad, or is it connected to your TV? Forgive me, I'm not very familiar with the Apple side of things. One thing I've never done is try to run Zwift on a mobile platform. I'm actually to do this whole rig here with the streaming, I actually have to have a gaming PC, so lots of horsepower, not handheld horsepower or a fraction of a horsepower. But I'm curious to know if the experience is still enjoyable with the screen minimalistic, so to speak. And the Mount Fuji climb. So that is more than just a rumor. It makes sense. But gosh, that's going to be one hard climb. You're talking more than 3,000 meters of climbing, you think? More than 3,000 meters? I would guess that to be the case. Makes that mountain right there look like a molehill, for sure. I mean, I guess it only makes sense as Zwift, right? We've already already climbing mountains and volcanoes, I should say, in Zwift. Why not the one that is the iconic volcano? But it's not 500 meters of elevation. We know that, or 500 feet, I should say. And I think I picked too fast of a group today, perhaps, because I'm sweating and I'm just about out of breath and I'm just about dropped. I don't understand this. I see Deadpool in there. If the Deadpool is in this group, then I'm in the wrong group probably. All right. Well, getting back on. I may have to drop back, guys, because I was hoping to just chill for most of this ride, but we'll see. See if we can keep it tempo. Keep it tempo for now. Okay, so you got TV with Apple TV. Got it. HDMI. Sounds like a good setup. I do like the experience, obviously, of Zwift on a TV versus a small monitor, computer monitor. That's what I've got. Got an HDMI from my computer to my main display, which is running Zwift. And then I've got the streaming set up on a couple of other monitors. But yeah, bigger is better when it comes to Zwift. Maybe they'll even do VR one day. What do you think? Let's take a poll. You guys think Zwift is going to do a VR version in the next 24 months? I mean, who would have guessed that they'd be developing their own Tron bike, like literal Tron bike in real life? How many of you seen the new trainer that's in development? 5 years on that? Okay, I think that's probably a very reasonable prediction. They've obviously, speaking of this Tron bike trainer, you can tell they have invested oodles of money to put this product out. It's their signature bike. It's what everyone thinks of when they think of Zwift. So I'm not surprised that they would try to pull something like that off. The question is, how many of you would put a Tron bike in your pain cave? Would you do it? I guess for me it depends on the price. One of the things about this current setup that I'm not particularly fond of is that I've got my dream bike here attached to the trainer, my Madone. And I just wonder how much I'm shortening its lifespan by hooking it up rigidly to a trainer and not allowing it to flex and move freely like you would on the road. You know? But, so, if the price was right, it might actually make sense to get a dedicated training bike. What's the proper term for those bikes? Like a Watt bike or a Wahoo bike versus putting a regular street bike on. You know, for me, buying a second bike to dedicate to the trainer would be something I would like to do, but from a cost standpoint, I don't know if I'm willing to do that right now, since I've only had this kicker for a couple years, and I really like the kicker. I really do. So I don't know if I'd want to switch out with a Tron bike right now, but we'll see. Yeah, all of it's under wraps, isn't it? In the chat about the specs on that Tron bike. We just don't know. It resembles a little bit like a Tax with some window dressing over the top of it to make it look Zwifty. What are your thoughts? What do you think the core engine is underneath? Is it a Tax? Is it a Wahoo? Probably not an Elite. Doesn't look anything like their products. But what are your thoughts? have to say I do think I'm pushing myself just a little bit too hard tonight. A little bit harder than I wanted to. Where are we at here? Let me take a look and see how far back the next group is. Well, that wasn't too bad. A little tiny group, but they're probably working just as hard. So I think I just gotta stay put. At least I'll get to the finish line faster. Yeah, I agree. You know, what is dreamed up is not always what comes to fruition. And a lot of specs I have found with tech for products that are soon to be released are somewhat aspirational. And I guess it's better to seek forgiveness, right? But it's still an exciting product. I definitely want to see it in action. And I think that's one of my criteria is I really want to see somebody on live stream using this thing, see what it really looks like in real life before I have something I've never seen shipped to me. And, you know, you can't really test ride it like you can, let's say, a regular trainer. You know, that's kind of how I got into Zwift in the first place. Was there was an elite trainer set up at my local bike shop with Zwift running. I'm like, what is this thing? I'm like, that controls that? I jump on it and I start pedaling and I see the avatar and I was like, wow, like that, I didn't know that you could even do that. Thought that was so cool. But now that I've put about 100,000 kilometers on Zwift, I think the coolness has worn off, and now it's just, some days it's just grunt work. You know, it's just getting your trainer time in. But it's a godsend for me. It sure is. I'm not a complainer by any stretch of the imagination. I love Zwift, especially in the wintertime when I wouldn't be able to ride otherwise. It's there for me. Like right now, I'd be suffering in probably 30-degree temps outside, so not my idea of fun. This is definitely much better, even if it feels harder. All right. Well, we are. Looks like we're halfway through the first lap. So we still got ways to go, folks. This is going to be a long ride. We're talking probably hour and 30 minutes, hour and 15 minutes. So if you sign up for the A-Ride, be prepared for at least an hour of your time to an hour and a half, depending on how hard you hit those climbs. You know, I have a feeling everybody else in this group is probably doing endurance pace, and they're going to just totally trash me when we get to the climbs. That is my guess. Because nobody except us crazy folks that are competitive try to go all out on the flats. So I can tell, I feel every bit of that week I've been off the bike. Over 3 watts a kilo, and they are starting to almost look like they were getting ready to leave me. Almost. All right, here's the first official climb. Can't say that I'm all too thrilled to put an effort in. Let's see what I can do. Thank you. Appreciate it. It's not technically a climb anymore, is it? Okay. There we go. Now we're stretched out like spaghetti. This is what a Zwift ride looks like heading towards the black hole. Oh. All right. I'm going to take it easy and fall back a little bit here. So how many of you in the chat have already done this stage? This exact stage, the A stage. See, they're still pushing it on the downhills. Look at that. 3 watts, 3 watts a kilo there. Better do that, otherwise I will get dropped. They don't want to slow it down at all. They are in such a hurry to get to that next climb. 4 meters, 5 meters. Come on. Come on. There we go. Almost lost him. And then I'm going to overshoot, right? Yep. That's how it works. The yo-yo in Zwift. All right. So for those of you who don't know a lot about Zwift pack dynamics, this is one of the pitfalls of group riding in Zwift is you really do have to, when you're in the group, have to moderate your efforts. When you do end up on the front, you definitely have to add at least a half a watt per kilo to your current effort to stay either on the front or to avoid being shot out the back, like I almost did. So you got to kind of moderate it. You know, if you don't really want to be on the front, just watch very carefully how you're moving within the group and start soft pedaling when you're within about 3 meters of the front edge, so that you don't end up, your momentum not end up carrying you all the way past the leaders. I've accidentally had myself stuck out there in no man's land on a descent and then get passed so fiercely that a full-on sprint almost didn't help me stay connected. It is it's dangerous sometimes to be off the front. But it's always dangerous to be off the back, which is look like what is happening to me here. They are slowly bleeding off riders into that blob. And if I don't hurry, I'm going to be left in the dust, which I guess doesn't matter because there's our second climb, which is soon upon us. If you haven't ridden in France yet, this particular course, this climb is, here I go again, off the front. Shooting to the back. This is about a 5-minute climb, I think. This one here, it's a not steep, but long enough to tax your VO2 max if you are pushing it around that effort. So, you know these guys aren't going to do tempo with this thing. Hey, wait a second. Hey, did I just bypass that? Okay, I like that. Now there's still some climbing on this bypass, but I don't think it's nearly as bad. Not nearly as bad as what we just dodged. So that is great. Okay, a flat course that may in fact be true to its name. So despite the numbers in the upper section of the rider list, it's not truly a race. These events, they used to have a race component and then a group ride component with different watts per kilo and stuff. But I guess they've decided to just simplify it these days and just make the selection based on distance. So, and let riders sort it out for themselves as to where they want to go. I don't think the watts per kilo separations really did much good anyway, because now come to think of it, I saw plenty of folks well over the categories in those events, those group rides. So I guess they saw it as superfluous. All right. Maybe less talking through here. I think this is where some of the efforts are coming up. All right, there we go. Let's tap this and see if I get a slight break before the big effort. If you're trying to stay with a fast group and don't think you can hang on the climbs, you can sag climb in big groups like this. See how stretched out it is? If you position yourself near the front at the start, you can allow yourself a little bit of slightly less intense action as others pass you. Tell you, we got a lot of fast folks in here tonight. I'm just about at the fastest group I could be with, and I'm in 318 out of 585. So not quite halfway, or I should say, not quite average, a little bit below average as far as the pace. Which is just unbelievable to think how many Zwifters are out there killing it on the front. That's a lot of folks. I don't know if I have enough hydration for this pace. We'll see. Well, guys, thanks for keeping my mind busy in the chat. These efforts are always distracting. I am in the threshold section now of my intensity level, so This is not something I want to be doing for another 40 minutes. But we will see. See how long I last. See if I can make it with this group for the first lap. I'll consider that a win. Hey, Captain Cycling, how are you doing? Saw your stream. You actually were my reminder for tonight's broadcast. Like I was telling the folks at the beginning of the stream, I completely forgot that Tour de Zwift had started. My nifty little companion reminder probably would have informed me about an hour before my event. Who knows where I would have been? Out getting dinner, running errands, who knows? You know how it is, guys. Life just sucks your free time up, doesn't it? Thank God for Zwift. All right. I don't want to be on the front again here. Well, very good, very good. Maybe starting to have second thoughts about this long ride now. It sounded appealing, about 30 US miles of riding. All right, here's the steep stuff here, isn't it? This is the little climb. I gotta breathe. But I was hoping this would be flat. Sort of flat. All right. Oh, they're not pushing it too hard, at least according to the numbers. That's a good thing. And it looks like we merged with another group too. We're about to. All right. Well, I hope that was it. I can't remember how much climbing we do here. Maybe that was it. All right. Maybe I'll even be able to super tuck. Who knows? As we get closer to the bottom. Uh-oh. Why am I going backwards? What is going on here? What is going on here? I don't get it. That's scary. The algorithm went berserk there for a second. Yeah, rollers. Yippee! Okay. Probably going to lose this first half. Let's see. I don't think I can grab a hold of that wheel. Let's see. Come on. There we go. They're still pushing on the center. Look at some of these people. 3 watts a kilo. Crazy. All right. Another climb. Up and down, up and down. We all still together? Maybe. Might have lost a little group there. Okay, coming into the finish of the first lap. Let's hope they take it easy. Okay. All right. Got to have one down, one to go. All right, folks, so it looks like this is going to be about an hour and 15 minutes or so. That's what it's looking like. So we're halfway there. A little more than halfway, actually. Okay, break's over. So it only gets faster from here, James? Something in my gut tells me you're right. It never gets easier. Well, I may be strolling in solo then to the finish line. We'll see. I will say those climbs weren't nearly as bad as I thought they would be. I think because they were rollers, they pretty much held steady. But this is feeling more like a race to me, unfortunately. Just the way it goes, I guess. Trying to stay off that front. You gotta really want to be there if you're there. Whatever you do, if you get to the front by accident, do not let your foot off the gas. You actually have to kind of push it a little bit, just so that you don't end up getting pushed all the way out the back. It takes some getting used to. All right. Heart rate's finally coming down a little bit. Yep, I agree, James. Not really sure what this group is motivated to do tonight. If I was a better Zwift typist, I would put a request out there to do a chill second lap. But in Zwift speak, that usually results in the opposite, if I'm correct, does it not? Especially in races. So I'll just keep my mouth shut. Well, we must be moving along pretty good. We're about to swallow up another group. Now, if I was smart, I would fall back with the slow group. But who knows? They may end up trying to stay latched on. We'll see. Not few of them stayed with us. One of them, I think, one of them chose not to stay with us. It looks like, or they just made it. Here, let's do an overhead. Haven't done one of these in a while. There we go. That person off the back has got to hurry up. And I have no idea where I am now. Somewhere in the center of the screen. All right. I think I better speed up a little bit here. I really can't tell where I am now. I think in Zwift they show everybody else's marker except yours. And everybody's got the same jersey. All right, looks like we're sticking together. Yeah. Oh, either that or that was the straggler. I don't know, we'll see. But here I am. I think I was just on the front. But not for long. All right, guys. Now that we're over the hump, what's up next for Tour de Zwift? Anybody know what the next stage is? They're going to go from flat to fearless climbs. What's the deal? Anybody know? Haven't even peeked yet myself. Well, I'm going to guess it's a different world. That's an easy guess. I'm going to guess Watopia. All right, well, it's climbing. Climbing it is. Watopia climbs. France climbs. How about some climbing in Richmond? I'd love that. I'm going to guess New York. Last year, I think they stuck to some of the bigger climbs in New York City. Since there truly is no flat course in that world. So, is it New York? Watopia? Something else? Anybody know? Okay, well, that would be a shoe-in for the A ride for sure. And Yano, appreciate the ride on. Thank you. Oh, all right. I think I better ditch this power up while it's still useful. As soon as we get over this little river here, I'll hit it. I think this is the last of the climbing in this section. Okay, Innsbruck, I could see that. I could definitely see Innsbruck. Short one's probably Box Hill. Haven't done that one in a while. But don't let anyone kid you. They're all painful. They're all suffering for a flatlander like me. All right. Let's see, I could use this right now. Get off the back here. Yeah, when you're off the back like that, by the way, guys, and you see a few of you kind of dangling there, that's not a good place to be. It may look safe. You think, oh, I still got some draft. But Zwift's algorithm tends to punish those folks. And you see people start going backwards. So I never like to be in that spot. I always like to be nestled in the middle. Emiliano, hey, good to see you in the chat. Happy New Year to you too. Yes, we made it through another one. Thank you, Lord. That much I'm thankful for. 2021 was a very exciting year for our household, and not in the desirable kind. But it was good. God has been good. Got us through it all. I know some folks who didn't make it through 2021. So, just grateful for what God's got us through, and prayers for those who experienced loss in the past year. Definitely was a tough year. From a certain perspective. All right. Now for the pseudo real first climb coming up, I believe, right? It kind of sneaks up on you. Yeah, when it doglegs right like that in the map screen, I think that means that's the climb, the time segment. So let's see. It'll probably still spaghettify, even though there's really no glory to be had. Oh, I was wrong. I am wrong. This is not the time segment. It's coming up soon, though. Oh, yeah. I should just look at what the map is telling me here. The little Z in the center of the map, I believe, is represents that banner at the top. I think. It seems kind of far away though. But that could be the top of the climb. I am not certain now, to be honest with you, because we are nowhere near that. And we're not getting there fast either. Don't know. All right, Kevin. Enjoy. Thank you for joining us. Perhaps we'll see you out there on the streets of Zwift. Oh, somebody loves a sprint. Normally that would be me, but I'm not feeling it today. Well, the pace seems to have slowed down a little bit. No, maybe not. Spoke too soon. I missed that last comment in the chat, something about, will Zwift ever go? I didn't see. Go public, maybe? Good question. You know, like all good corporate things, it probably will. It probably will. The next Tesla, I don't know about that. It's good, but I don't know if it's that good. You know, has Zwift already reached its prime yet? Is it past its prime? Is there enough competition out there that's matured enough to make alternatives somewhat of equal footing? I don't know. Yeah, and you know, that's what this was supposed to be tonight. This was supposed to be a getting back on the bike after a week off ride, and somehow I ended up in the wrong group. And so here I am doing threshold efforts amongst folks who want to sprint it out. I'll just take the free power up, thank you. That's all I need out of this. That and a free tow to the finish line, which isn't coming. Okay, no power up. Nope, never mind. Denied. I'm stretching out. And it's not my fault either. Well, the next ride is definitely going to have to be an easier paced ride. This was supposed to be a chill, longer ride, and I messed it up. All right. Maybe now we're coming to the climb. Only 12 kilometers to go. I'm not racing to the finish tonight. Sorry, guys. If you're here for a sprint finish, I don't think I can deliver. Though it would be the perfect sprint finish for me with this bike. Yeah, I agree. I've raced enough in between groups on these events to know it's not a fun place to be. Oh no. No. What are they doing? Why are they pulling away? Something happened to the algorithm. Yeah. I'm dangling. Yep. Stretched out. Don't know if I can hang onto the back of this group here as they close up. Gotta go now. There we go. Just made it. So much for the big blob. That's done. Here I go again. Going backwards. Okay, I've survived another one. Everybody's trying to get back on. Yep, Indiana, that's definitely my opinion tonight. I need the group. This group, I'll admit, this group definitely does not need me. It's the other way around. Well, at least I've graduated to the 200s, so I'm not going backwards. Either that or folks are already finishing up. Not really sure. Okay. My breath is finally coming back. Okay. 110 to go. We're getting too close to the front. Uh-oh. Nope, I'm on the front. Nope, not anymore. I definitely need this break, that's for sure. Okay. I don't want to dangle again here. How you doing in the chat? I can just hang on for another, well, I've got another 10, 15 minutes. I think that's all we got left, folks. Another sprint. A long one. 30 seconds almost. Trying to take it easy here. Okay, sprint number 2. Okay. Struck out again. I guess I figure, yeah, level 48, you don't need it. It's probably true. Still, we want it though. But hang on. It's breaking up now. Don't tell me I'm going to shoot to the front again. Don't need to. Don't want to. Heart rate's already high enough. All right. Everybody must be resting up for the next one. We're very good, Emiano. Looks like you picked a really good group too then. This one was just as fast as I would have ever wanted it to be. No faster. This particular blob has overtaken quite a few groups already. And probably spat some folks out the back too, I'm sure. Thankfully, it hasn't been a true smash fest on the climbs. At least not yet. All right, a little break again. Oh, never mind. Try out in the front again. It's weird how this pack has been surging and stalling a little bit. Don't have a reason for it. Well, for my sake, Indiana, I hope you're right that it's going to be all over in 5 minutes. I think you're right. Swallowing up 2 more. Oh. Well, see you guys. Huh. Yeah, it doesn't look like they made it. I don't know, maybe they're trying. No, they're dropped. I gotta avoid the same fate here. All right, need the cut. The key on rollers, I think, is to just keep pedaling. Don't ease up on the little dips. Just keep pedaling through them. And then you won't find yourself with an unexpected speed differential between you and the pack. At least not an insurmountable one. All right, they're pushing it a little bit. All right, made it, I think. Here we go. Fast to the finish, hopefully. Okay, 1 kilometer to go. Oh, they're pushing it down. I'll take the back of the pack. Right about the same time there, Miana. Almost exactly the same. Oh, yippee. They finally give me a power up. Wonderful. Okay, guys. That's the first Sufferfest of 8. I might as well put a little race in parentheses there at the end. All right, catching my breath. Hey guys, James, Hemiano, Cadman, those of you who joined us online and in the chat, appreciate you coming by and joining us tonight. Maybe next time I'll see you out there on the roads and we'll ride together for the next one. Probably be 3 or 4 days from now. If that's something you guys want to do as a group effort, a group within a group, let me know in the chat or in the comments, and I will. I'll figure something out. I'll figure out a way to communicate it. Probably, I guess, in the description of the next live stream. All right. Until then, guys, have a wonderful evening, and we'll catch you back out here in Zwift. Take care. God bless, and finish strong.